6, 2021, and the morning edition is live. On today's show, a live discussion about child abuse, a supermoon is about to appear, and the COVID-19 vaccine rollout to the Family Islands starts today. So let's start the morning off right.
Never been, be prepared to do what you've never done. Good morning, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis.
And good morning, everybody. I'm Charles Fisher. May not have my glasses on this morning, but I'm happy to see you.
I know you took the vaccine already. What were your side effects? You had any? Did you have
side
any?
effects at all. You know, my head little dizzy normally, so I didn't feel anything. I'm encouraging everybody to go take it. And guess what? The Family Islands are now going to start getting their vaccine as early as today. And
Lloyd Allen is standing by at the Odyssey. He's live with that send-off. Good morning again, Lloyd.
All right. Yeah, I don't hear anything.
We're going to go back to Lloyd in a few minutes, but he's at the airport. I was also wondering, I saw where he had a full moon. Was that the full moon is going to come on?
I think it's like a solar eclipse kind of thing going on. You know, it's almost a hurricane season, so all kind of things are happening out of the norm. So, yeah.
So, this is Child Abuse Month. We're also expected to have Dr. Novi Carter in studio this morning, but apparently she did not.
You look sleepy this morning. What's going on? Is that the vaccine?
I worked all weekend. I did some interviews on Saturday. I did some interviews on Sunday. And then me and my good friend, Philip Stiles, we went out yesterday, early in the day, you know, just some boy-to-boy, man-to-man talk. So
looking debonair. Yeah, you kind of look like we dress alike, kind of, sort of.
Yeah. So how was your weekend?
It was pretty good, very relaxing.
Went to church?
I loved. No, I didn't go to church.
Well, it seems like Lloyd Allen is ready down there on Odyssey. Good morning once again, Lloyd.
Well, good morning, Fisher and LaDawn, and good morning, Bahamas. Of course, health officials announced last week that an ambitious 3-day rollout will take place beginning today as a push to vaccinate the public against COVID-19 vaccine expands. Now, as of last Tuesday, health officials reported that some 21,000 doses of the vaccine had already been administered to Abaco and Grand Bahama residents. Starting today, however, residents of Mayaguana, Inagua, Cricket Island, Acklands, Andros, Exuma, Cat Island, San Salvador, the Berry Islands, Eleuthera, Long Island, Rumkey, and Bimini are on the week's Family Island vaccination schedule. Family Islanders are reminded that to make an appointment to receive the COVID-19 vaccine, that they are to log on to vax.gov.bs and to view the full Family Island schedule, including vaccination site locations and times. Visit opm.gov.bs, of course, for more information. That government-issued ID is also required at check-in at all vaccination sites. Now, around 20 minutes to the hour, we saw that the vaccines were being loaded onto this plane right behind us. And, of course, in just a few moments, we expect that plane will be taking off to those respective islands. And again, the vaccine has been long awaited. Many residents, I just visited Abaco last week, many residents are anticipating receiving that vaccine and really moving forward and beyond the COVID pandemic. Here in the capital as well, those efforts have continued throughout the capital, and many persons are stepping up now to take that vaccine. Fisher and LaDawn, back to you guys in studio.
Looking pretty good on the outside. 75 degrees, partly sunny winds, west-southwest at 4 miles per hour. Humidity 44%. Now, a weak cold front in the vicinity of central and southeast Florida will drift into the northwest Bahamas today with some unsettled weather preceding it and a high pressure rapidly building in its wake. Weather for the northwest Bahama, variable cloudiness and warm with a few scattered showers and a chance of isolated thunderstorms today. Mostly fair and breezy with a chance of a few stray showers tonight. For the central and southeast Bahamas, weather partly to mostly sunny and a very warm with a chance of a few passing showers or an isolated thunderstorm mainly in the vicinity of the frontal boundary. Today mostly fair, mild, and tonight daytime temperature 82, overnight low should be about 73 72. As for Tuesday, partly sunny and windy, daytime high of 83, night low of 72. Wednesday, those winds subsiding, still mostly sunny, high in 84 in the day and 72 at night.
Let's take a look now at stories making news headlines.
With the COVID-19 vaccination rollout now underway in the Family Islands, all residents 18 years and older are now eligible to get the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine. The National COVID-19 Vaccine Committee announcing that vaccinations will continue in New Providence this week at the Loyola Hall on Gladstone Road, Church of God of Prophecies, East Street Tabernacle, and only today at the St. Anselm's Catholic Church on Burnett Road. Grand Bahamas' vaccination site remains the Susan J. Wallace Community Center in Freeport. To make an appointment to receive the COVID-19 vaccine, you can log on to vax.gov.bs. The Family Island COVID-19 vaccination sites, as scheduled, as well as site locations and times, can be found on opm.gov.bs. And still talking vaccination, second vaccination dose appointments begin on May 10th. The vaccine committee advises persons who have received their first vaccine dose to expect an email within the next 2 weeks to book their second appointment. The reminder email will contain a link to access the appointment portal. Persons without an email may book their second appointment at a center where on-site appointments are available. Now, an individual is not required to receive their second dose at the same vaccination site or island that they received their first dose. Health officials confirming in Sunday's COVID-19 dashboard that some 86 COVID-19 cases were never reported to them, 32 here in New Providence and 54 over in Grand Bahama. Those cases in New Providence were originally tested between January and mid-April and last year September through December for those cases in Grand Bahama. The newest cases includes 20 in New Providence, 2 in Grand Bahama, and 7 in Andros. Those 29 new cases pushed the total number nationwide to 10,165. Only one of the new confirmed cases has a history of travel within 14 days. The recent COVID-19 dashboard also shows that the COVID-19 death toll climbed by 1 with the death of a 55-year-old male resident of New Providence on April 17th. Also making news this Monday with the deconstruction process of partly completed and unoccupied structures in Abaco's Farm Road, Shantytown last week. Phase 2 will comprise the demolition of dozens of existing dwellings set for May 7th. However, this does not include a number of pre-Dorian structures involved in an ongoing injunction. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Works, the Honorable Desmond Bannister, maintains that safety will be paramount.
And so if they have another storm in Abaco, even tough winds, those structures could fly away like sailboats. They're very, very dangerous structures. So the building control officer and his team from the Ministry of Public Works work closely with the police, closely with the other authorities in the island. Chief Superintendent Taylor has done an outstanding job, an amazing job in putting this organization together. And we've done or commenced the second phase of what we see we have to do. And it's very important for the safety of the people who live here and for the safety of all Bahamians that we do what we're doing.
Central Bank Governor John Roll acknowledging that bank officials are focused on strengthening domestic financial stability mechanisms. He noted last week that the central bank's strategic work plan intends to exploit the process achieved in 2020 to bolster the crisis management and deposit safety net systems.
In the case of deposit insurance, in 2020, this protection was extended to all credit unions. Also, the Deposit Insurance Corporation was given a stronger mandate to build up the adequacy of its funding relative to the insurable base of deposit. Crisis management also covers prevention, which relies on the supervisory tools that the central bank employs, on our ability to monitor the system for signs of trouble, and our capacity to intervene in a coordinated fashion, if necessary, across separately regulated spaces. Our strategic work at the central bank is aimed at building better data sets at both the institution and macro level to support our efforts.
Meantime, members of the disabled community appealing for help to lessen the impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic. Interim President of the Bahamas National Council for Disability, Jensel Watkins, telling ZNS News that the current crisis has created joblessness for many disabled residents.
COVID impacted all of us. First of all, as an able body, I know it was tough for a lot of people that I see working and so forth. But a lot of disabled persons, they might have had little jobs. Like there was a gentleman who had a job on Bay Street who sell little stuff. He was unable to go out there and work anymore. Persons trying to get to work, they aren't able. If they had a job, they aren't able to get because of transportation. The bus stopped running, taxis were stopped, and so forth. So that's a lot of. And then food was a challenge as well, because if I can't work, I can't feed myself and my family.
And from our number one industry, the Ministry of Tourism's first in-person activity, dubbed a resounding success, patrons of the 47th Annual Sun and Fun Aerospace Expo in Lakeland, Florida last week eagerly learned about the Bahamas, the region's top destination in general aviation. Some of them have already begun preparations to fly out to the Bahamas following that event.
Competing at the Oregon Relays on Saturday, Shawnee Miller Uibo. Yes, with the pretty pink hair, she is looking good, proving that she'll be ready for the Tokyo Olympics, running away from the field in the 40 meters in a time of 49.08 seconds. That's the fastest time in the world this year, and breaking the stadium record of 49.29 set by Sonia Richard Ross. It was Shaunae's fourth fastest time ever, just off a national record of 48.37 seconds, which looks to be within reach this year. Shawnee is also the world leader in the 200 meters, the event she is expected to contest at this year's Summer Olympic Games. Also on the weekend and looking good as well, looking to be in top form, Tania Gaither at the True Fit Meet Series in Miami, Florida. There she is. It's looking like it's a long year season for our girls. Everybody looking good and running good. Looking for the double. She won this race to 200 meters in a time of 22.70 seconds and also was second in the century in 11.02. Both our young ladies looking good as they get set for the Tokyo Olympics later on this summer. We're going to take a break and be back with much more.
At BPL, we are building for better, and that starts with improving customer relations for every single customer. Whether it's your home or business, big or small, we want you to know that you are important to us and that providing you with efficient and reliable energy is our business. Through increased efficiency and our hedging strategy, we've been able to decrease your bills significantly, a much welcome relief in these trying times.
I pay close attention to my BPL bill, and I've noticed a continual decline since July of last year. I'm so happy I can open my bill and know that it's steadily becoming more manageable.
As an entrepreneur, I've seen my electricity bills for home and business go down. This is amazing because now more than ever, it gives businesses and everyone the break they need to not only survive, but to succeed.
At BPL, we're proud of the early success of our strategic plan, and we look forward to consolidating the gains we've made. With more improvements on the way, we are continuing to build for a better future for all of us.
Tell me, what are you doing to improve your life?
Since COVID-19 is reading, that's something in itself because it's so fast. So yeah, it's engrossing.
Join me for Direct Talk, live with David G. Weekdays at 11 a.m. on the Bahamas Radio Network.
Education recently held its 23rd Annual National Debate Championship Finals. St. Augustine's College brought forward the proposition while C.I. Gibson Senior High and Kingsway Academy schools opposed. Debaters argued the topic, be it resolved that the government alone should have the right to make decisions for the Bahamas during a pandemic. And the overall winner is, yes, you guessed it, St. Augustine's College. C.I. Gibson and Kingsway Academy were second and third respectively. Close to a dozen special needs students from the Blairwood Academy put their businesses on display during the school's small business launch recently. Promoting their businesses is one way for the students to make an honest living once they leave the four walls of the classroom. Businesses like Candle Joy, Sweet Treats by J&N D's, D's and CT's, and Unique Slime sold out of the products. Officials of the schools say with the response received this year, they're hoping for more participants of students and support from the public next year.
For you galaxy lovers and farmers, here's something that may interest you. The next full moon will occur tonight at 11:32 Eastern Time and is known as the full pink moon. It's the first of 2 supermoons this year, which is a full moon that will appear to be slightly larger than average. A supermoon is when the full moon coincides with the closest point in its orbit around Earth, according to space.com. Now, the pink moon won't actually be pink, but will appear full for 3 days until Wednesday, according to solarsystem.nasa.gov.
Interesting there. As we head to the break, we take a look back at the day in Bahamian history. On April 26, 1967, 11 students were on hand as the Windermere High School over in Eleuthera opened. And in 1976, on the same day, a Pan Am airline left Nassau, marking the end of the airline's 47 years rather, of continuous service to the country.
Abuse increases during a crisis. The physical, mental, and social issues that emerge from abuse affect us individually and as a community. Though meant to protect us, distancing measures can increase the risk of women and children to being abused. The lack of physical contact with loved ones and limited access to support services can increase a woman's risk of being abused. Abusers who drink frequently can be dangerous to women and children. If you've experienced abuse, contact a trusted friend or relative. Develop a safety plan. Choose a trusted person that can help get you to safety. Keep a to-go bag packed with important documents, medication, money, and other essentials. If you or a loved one are experiencing abuse, contact the Bahamas Crisis Center or the Royal Bahamas Police Force. You can also contact us at 819-7652 or 812-0576.
This next star has been 70 years in the making. A local pastor says he has seen it all, from the days of the historic Bahamian farming contracts to the United States and the virtual ministry. Lord Allen has more.
88-year-old Wilbert Roll is senior pastor at Living Waters Church of God, Marshall Road. He says it was a night back in 1953 in Mastic Point, Andros, when he encountered spiritual enlightenment for the first time while fishing at night.
And at that time I felt the Spirit of God came upon me in the boat.
Roll says, like many new believers, he struggled with accepting his pardon from God, even after joining a church and attending several missions. As conditions were hard, he moved forward with life.
So I went over there in 57. We work on the farm, cutting celery, cucumber, and other different things. I make my first trip back home, and then I went back in the face of 59, and we work on the farm. And then in March or so that was the last trip I worked on the farm.
Enthralled by the charismatic churches of the South, Roll says his return was filled with newfound optimism and opportunity, starting with his then girlfriend.
I got a letter from her the same time since she got saved. And so we got married in August 59.
They both attended the African Methodist Episcopal Zion Church before he was eventually ordained in 1961. He spent more than 30 years back in Andros before starting his own church, Living Waters Church of God, and adds, while times have changed, ministry remains the same.
Sister Tara was pastoring from January to March, and so she have done a good job, because the Lord lays upon my heart, because it don't look like the common not to hear me because I too old, I guess. And so the Lord just laid on my heart to just let the young folks.
And while he may be taking a back seat from the pulpit, Bishop Rolls says that does not stop him from dressing the part at every opportunity, not losing his old school swag with a hat, trench coat, and cane. He adds he believes he will live to become a centenarian.
And you told me that I will live 100 years.
The original old school pastor, yet modern enough to host a virtual service, Rolls says there is one important lesson he wants his church and leaders to know.
True serving him, I serve my fellow creatures.
Art is something that stuck with her from her early years, and this morning we introduce you to a young woman who started an art decor business during the onset of the pandemic. Here's Jimanita Swain.
Artist Demi Ubani is coming up on her one-year anniversary, having started a business at the height of the pandemic last year. The business, Bigwood Bahamas, is a home decor line.
Where we do signs, coasters, ashtrays, bathboards, all those type of things, and I really want to bring the Bahamian spirit into the homes, because I realize a lot of Bahamians actually feel as if art isn't practical or functional or has any work. So with me saying, okay, start this line, it's a way to actually bring it into other people's homes so they can add some color to it, you know. And also I got tired of seeing tourists pick up items, see China on the back, and put it back down, because for a period of time I worked inside the airport.
Ubani uses items at her disposal that include wood from pallets and other sustainable elements to bring her creations to life. She also offers fine arts with various media.
So I usually use spray paint, acrylic, oil pastels. I also use newspaper clippings and magazines, but my favorite is resin. And with resin, that was actually the one that bridged the gap between my fine line work and big wood.
And for anyone still navigating their path on the art plane, the artist offers this advice.
I would say just go after and just keep working through it, because even if you go and you go after something, it actually might not be really what you want to do. So just keep working through it. If you hit a roadblock, keep doing it again. I mean, that's what I've always done throughout the years. I'm not going to let anything actually stop me from what I want to do. You just have to be passionate about it. You'll find avenues and also have conversations with people, because that can actually get you further in life than just your skill set.
She's also planning an exhibition.
So I'm having a solo show by 60 to 60 Art Gallery. The gallery is owned by Joan Cawley. It's on downtown Bay Street, and the title of the show is By Means to Come. So that'll be my first solo show, and that's on July 2nd. So I'm having an open call at NAGB, National Art Gallery of the Bahamas, and that's Evolution of the Ark. Talking about how did we get here, where are we going, especially now when we're struggling to sustain ourselves with tourism being in decline and so many people are without jobs.
If you're looking to contact the artist, search her out at Ubani Artworks in Bigwood online.
So I saw some pretty good coasters.
I like
very
that
creative.
I like that
yeah.
backgammon set. I never learned how to play backgammon, so I think I may get that. I asked him if she could buy that for my Christmas present. And,
do you know how to paint? Do you know how to paint?
Yeah, I know how to paint.
Just a little?
Yeah, I did water paint when I was in primary school. I did a lot. I paint the walls by home by me, and I paint. And then when my kids make a mess on the wall, I have to paint it over again.
Charlie.
So I had to do all that. But are you going to stay up tonight to watch the Pink Moon?
Possibly. It all depends on how I'm feeling.
11 something.
32. I think it's 11:32 p.m.
When the vampires be up there.
I'm sure you're a vampire, eh? But I'm sure you'll text me to let me know that, to remind me about that.
I'll probably take a picture and then show it to you in the morning. But I don't think I'm going to be up that late tonight.
Boy, I don't know. But I know May is coming up. We have lupus awareness. We're going to have them. They're going to be in the house.
Child Abuse Month. We apologize. Our guests did not make it here on time. But lupus is coming back. Anything that you want us to be aware of?
Well, not at the moment. I
know
know
you-
Mother's Day is coming up as well, and we
Yeah,
get
we
something special
can get something
for Mother's
special
Day
for
as well.
mothers, so you mothers, stay tuned to that. Do you look like your mom?
Just a little, just a little. I'm a mixture of my mom and my dad. Yeah.
They tell me I look like my mom as well. We have both have big nose.
Stay close, we've got more right after this. You're watching The Morning Edition.
There's been a lot of public discussion about the safety of COVID-19 vaccines. Here are some of the facts. Common side effects from the COVID-19 vaccine are usually mild and temporary. These can include a sore arm and a fever. More serious side effects are possible, but extremely rare. All COVID-19 vaccines undergo vigorous clinical trials before they are put into use, and they are regularly reassessed. Scientists are constantly monitoring the data and reports to ensure that vaccines are safe and cause no health risk. Remember that you are far more likely to experience severe complications or death associated with COVID-19 than the vaccine itself. As you make your decision to get vaccinated, be sure that you are armed with the facts.
This message has been brought to you by the Government of the Bahamas in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
As part of activities commemorating Earth Day last week, local civic organizations, non-governmental and environmental groups planted over 100 trees on Saunders Beach in the Cable Beach community this weekend. The initiative is part of a wider regional effort to restore the environment while promoting climate resilience. Scientist Mark Daniels elaborated on the significance of this program.
Countrywide, our coastlines are under threat, for a number of reasons, whether it's, improper development, invasive species moving through the coastal regions, or sea level rise and coastal erosion that's happening as a result of increased storms and storm surges and whatnot. So the way we respond collectively, you can have what's the hard solutions, or you can have the nature-based solutions. And so what we want to show here is that we all know for this strip here by Saunders Beach, in a storm surge, you would find the water ends up in the road, sand ends up in the road. It's pretty prohibitive to traffic. What we want to do here is solve that issue by rebuilding the dune naturally, using native vegetation, removing invasive species, and allow it to provide that ecosystem service of preventing the storm surge from reaching the road and lessening the sand that's getting in the road.
Continue to keep the Bahamas clean, green, and pristine. And be sure to stay tuned into the ZNS network for news as it happens, TV and radio updates throughout the day. Then you can tune into Live at 5, the Northern Edition, and the Bahamas Tonight at 7. And that's a wrap for us this morning. For the entire team, I'm LaDawn Davis.
If you haven't got notice yet, time to get up and get out. You had your morning edition.
Have a great morning, everyone.
You don't need no affirmation from nobody. No, sir. No, on your body. Confidence and